Hi, I'm Shelley Trong. I'm the founder of 365dates, and today I'm here with psychologist Esther Perel. She's known worldwide as an insightful voice on couples and sexuality across, internationally, basically. And I've got her here today to talk about her new book, Mating in Captivity.
So mating in captivity is actually for everyone who is grappling with the paradoxes of desire in modern relationships. And I was trying to understand why it is that so often good sex fades, even for couples who continue to love each other as much as ever, or questions like, does intimacy actually always guarantee good sex? Or can we want what we already have? Why is the forbidden so erotic? When we love, how do we feel? And when we desire, how is it different? And time and again, people point to a paradoxical relationship between the domestic and the erotic, between our need for closeness, connection, security, safety, predictability, permanence, reliability, and on the other side, our equally strong quest for adventure, novelty, mystery, change, risk, passion. And so mating in captivity looks at that. We don't want to mate in captivity. How do we create relationships that leave enough air so that we can have fire? Erotic intelligence originally was actually more of a wink at the concept of emotional intelligence, social intelligence, moral intelligence, but then I really actually linked it with what we have always known to be ars erotica, the art of loving, the erotic art. And so erotic intelligence is really our capacity to maintain a sense of aliveness in our life and in our relationship. It's eros not as just sex, the modernity is meaning for it, but eros as aliveness, vibrancy, vitality, life's energy. What do we do to keep that sense of aliveness inside of us? And that usually comes with our ability to tap into the imagination, the novel, curiosity, mystery, playfulness, the stuff that doesn't make you sit like this, but the stuff that actually leaps forward. When you're curious, when you're in the side of you that is exploratory and discovery oriented, you are leaping into the world to see what's new out there. How can I be surprised? How can I engage? Erotic intelligence is those ingredients brought into our intimate relationships today that I think is what keeps sex alive in long-term couples. Yes, I actually absolutely think you can keep it going, but it's not with the idea of going back to the beginning, if indeed your beginnings were hot. In the best couples, passion comes and goes. It has intermittent eclipses. It wanes, it comes back. But the couples who have erotic intelligence, if you want, are couples who know how to resurrect it. They know when they're feeling flat. They know when they're moving apart. They know when they're not in touch with their own erotic selves. That which gives them pleasure, engagement with life, a connection to their sensual being, a connection to their pleasure bodies and all of that. And they know what to do to resuscitate. That's the difference. The best couples, they don't live in a state of passion all the time. Now, tips about how one maintains that sense of playfulness has to do not with techniques. If it was so easy, and people could, then there wouldn't be the same advice given to us every week in the magazines at page 108. Then we would just do it. It's because it's more complicated than just a toy or a bra or a piece of clothing, and there is Victoria's Secret but no Victor's Secret yet. It has to do with our staying connected to our sense of aliveness. So for example, I would say to you, imagine that instead of saying what turns me off is, or I'm turned off when, and you ask yourself, I turn myself off when. I shut down desire in me when. And people's typical responses all over the world where I have been, I shut myself off when I don't take time for myself, when I don't go into nature, when I don't go dancing, when I don't connect to my friends, when we don't have time to be together with my partner, when I don't feel good about my body, when I experience a sense of deadness inside myself. And if you feel like that, your partner can wear the nicest clothes, you ain't gonna respond. So I turn myself on when, not what turns me on is, or you turn me on when. I turn myself on, I connect to my desire, to my aliveness. The responses are not sexual per se. I turn myself on when I take time for myself, when I run, when I go dancing, when I play music, when I'm out with my friends, when I travel, when I'm away from the kids. I am connected to that other side of me that isn't the responsible, dutiful, proper citizen that needs to maintain things sometimes in containment and is afraid to let go. If you ask yourself that question, you tap into, therefore, what do I need to do to bring back that sense of aliveness inside of me, so that when the opportunity arises and somebody comes toward me, I don't just say, I'm tired, I don't feel like it, etc. You actually look forward, because anticipation is the motor of the erotic. Animals have sex. We are the only ones who have an erotic life. We have sexuality transformed by the human imagination. And that means that we can make love for hours, have a blissful time, multiple orgasms, and touch nobody just because we can imagine it. That is playful. So the playfulness isn't 5 minutes before. Foreplay is, basically starts at the end of the previous orgasm, not 5 minutes before. It's a state that people live in which they connect with each other. They send each other little words. They smile. They wink. They transgress. They do the little things they're not supposed to do. They stay home an hour later in the morning. They meet for lunch when they're actually dressed and awake, and not date night when they're beat and all of that. They do the things that are not the supposed things I should be doing, because the moment I'm away from the should, and I end up doing those things, I enter the realm of desire, which means owning the wanting. I do what I want, and I know even more that I do what I want when I'm doing what I'm not supposed to do. First of all, I think we all need security and adventure, but some of us need one more than the other. If for you, the experience of being in a safe, committed relationship where you can rely on the other and you know that the partner will be there for you and you don't have to fret, be anxious, fear abandonment, fear unreliability, and you know you can have a family that brings that, I would never put that down. For many people, that is more than they ever had in their life. If at the same time you polarize it and you say, there is the man that I want to be my lover, and then there is the man who I want to be as the father of my children, and you divide these two, that is not necessarily such a good trick to do. Because you ask yourself, is it me who is holding an image of the other person such that it actually de-eroticizes them? Because the stable, reliable person who won't leave my family, my kids and myself is not the hot lover who I see as an unreliable guy. I don't think it's fair, not to men and not to women, to divide it like that. The woman you marry and the woman you sleep with, or the man you sleep with and the man you marry, it's not such a good distinction. But passion isn't always there in the beginning. It's not true that every couple starts up there and has only one way to go, and that's down. Passion wakes up inside of you. Often, the better you feel about yourself, the more confident you are. There is no bigger sexual turn-on than confidence, in men and in women. People who want you are people who don't need you. If they need you, you go in caretaking mode. If they want you, you respond with desire. So don't always think, oh, I didn't feel it like that at first. This is, many people have a much better sexual life and a much better erotic life, in fact, as they get older. But older as in more confident, more experience, more maturity, more I know what I want, more self-awareness. That's what feeds good sex. Not just, adrenaline.
Our readers, you can get a copy of Esther's book at estherperel.com or find it on amazon.com. You can also follow Esther at Esther Perel, or our links are actually on our page as well. To follow the real-life dating experiment, 365 Dates, where 4 women in 4 cities go on 100 dates each within a year, you can visit 365dates.com.